Call 911. Grampy's on the roof again. Okay, this structure faces north, and we're going to be a little bit out of our... I'm inspecting this home. I was supposed to inspect this home today, but the listing agent has agreed to pay my client a trip charge because the gas wasn't on. But this is Friday, so I don't know what the weather's going to be like. So I know it's dry today. So before I go home, I'm going to go ahead and inspect this roof covering. It looks like it's a recent installation. The underlayment is underneath the drip edge. See how the shingles cascade down? So the water cascades down, and underneath the shingles is an underlayment on the roof decking. And the underlayment is supposed to cascade down, including wrapping over the edge of the drip edge flashing. Composition roof. It's a medium gray. We're on the west side of the home, as I mentioned. So we're coming on here. We're going to work our way counterclockwise around. Looks like we got a little bit of a damaged shingle here. Is that hail damage? I don't know. Is it a factory defect? I don't know. But there it is. Look at that. And then is this a cut or is that wind damage? It could be either one. I don't know. Okay. Now look out across the front of the house. See all the little humps right there? We call that deflection. Alright. The technical word is sumping. But I'm going to call out sumping is if I get into the attic and I see that this is like a real problem. I wish that the sumping wasn't there, but you'll find that it's just about everywhere. Another thing is because of how uniform it is, I haven't been in the attic yet, but I can kind of tell by this pattern that the roof decking is probably plywood. And so it's a little more pronounced, a little more, okay? And being plywood like it is, you know, it probably should have been replaced when the roof was replaced. And this looks like a recent roof covering replacement. This is a vent pipe inside of a ridge row. Okay, it should have been, you know, a 45, and then they come out over here somewhere, but a 45, right inside your ridge row like this. You can see that kind of doctored it up. They got a couple extra shingles stuck in there, you know, kind of hoping, you know. Instead of doing it right, let's just hope. Put a couple shingles in there. That's all you got to do. All along. This kind of looks like wind damage here, but we're missing some granules. I mean, as young as this roof looks, why are we missing all these granules over here? Is this where their boots were scuffing when they're trying to get the extra they're trying to get the extra shingle in? Maybe. See this silicone right in here? That is a good idea. Bad execution, but the thought. It's the thought that counts. See, this is going to dry and shrink and peel away from your brick. Alright? It just is. And that goes, I mean, every year or so you should be up here looking for these things so you can put some more silicone in there. This is a chimney cap. We're supposed to have that, but we're also supposed to have a chimney crown. It's nice that they just went ahead and stuck a cap over it. But see all the breaks in the crown? See all the compromising? You think water's going to get through this screen? I do. You can't even see the screen on the camera. Okay, so that's going to disappear. You know what? As far as the water is concerned, there's no screen here. It's going to allow water to go down inside your brickwork. It is. Now, okay, this is kind of interesting. Not me. We got these whirlybirds. These are passive exhaust vents. This home has gable vents. Gable vents are passive, not passive exhaust vents, not passive air intake vents. They're completely passive. Alright? I saw soffit vents down here that need to be cleaned. So we got soffit vents and exhaust vents. If these are sized properly, you shouldn't need the gable vents. I can also say the same thing about the gable vents. If they're sized properly, you don't need the others. But gable vents are not the most, honestly, they're not the, you know, the choice attic ventilation system. So whirly birds and soffit vents are better, except that your soffit vents are all covered with paint and dirt and stuff. Looks like we had some repairs right in here. I think I remember seeing that on the seller's disclosure. Seller's disclosure claims that this is a 5-year-old roof, and it kind of looks like it. And seller's disclosure also claims that, and not me, but there was roof leaks, and they had a repair, and there's no more roof leaks. So we've had some repair around here, and something's been going on over there. Now over here, I did a cursory walk through the house, so I got an idea. Okay, but this is your furnace flue, and this is your water heater flue. See all this nice textural pattern on it? That's because it's asbestos. That vent pipe should have been replaced, it should have been recycled. It should have been recycled to the hazardous waste dump and a new flue put up in there. But if you put a new flue in, well, then that requires a building permit. Oh, requires a building permit. Let's leave the old flue there. We don't have to have it. No, you got a water heater. Anytime you replace the water heater, you're supposed to get a building permit anyway. You didn't save any money by doing that. And a new flue doesn't cost that much. So, and they'll get you a $60 disposal fee or something or whatever. You can just tell them to throw it in the yard, and you take it up to the hazardous waste disposal place yourself. It won't cost you a dime. Over here, what I'm seeing, I saw some downstairs, and I'm seeing it up here. So at least some of our cleanouts and our waste vents, okay, they're cast iron. Okay, cast iron lasts about 50 years. This home was built in 1960. Do the math, you know. If it were me, and it's not, but if it were I would hire a plumbing company to do a sewer scope. And I'm not real big about home inspectors doing sewer scopes. Some of them do it, and that's their business model, and I'm not going to judge them for it. But, you know, my motto is to do no harm. And a lot of times on older homes, it's doing a sewer scope is more difficult than it appears. And somebody that reads that stuff every day, then they could read it better than a home inspector that does it twice a week, maybe twice a month, maybe. You know, so I just say you know, go with the skill set. Go with the skill set. This is the power drop coming into the home. It's not supposed to be in the trees. We got a nice mast here. This is good. Got a nice drip loop. This is good. It's nice. They brought some power in here very recently. Well, that is shiny. Coming over here, another vent pipe. This is the one I'm looking for. Look at you, honey. I used to call this dimpling, and nobody argued with me. But that's actually called buckling. And water will sit inside of that ragged old neoprene gasket, and it's already deteriorating. It will continue to deteriorate, and because it's got buckling, it's going to deteriorate faster than it ever was, and so you're going to have a roof leak right there. And then right there, that nail head, that should be sealed. These nail heads, these should be sealed. All those nail heads should be sealed. Going along, see the way that comes over like that? Deflection. I'm really not going to call that sumping, unless I fall off. It's not far. Oh, it feels kind of solid. Ooh-wee. Look at there. Impact mark or something? You shouldn't have all these wires draped across your roof. Is this going to help your roof? Is that like a benefit for your roof? Is that going to improve your roof in any way? Is this a good thing to have? I don't think so. Satellite dish, okay? It should not be mounted directly to the roof. There's a jig that they sell. I'm going to have a picture of it baked in the report, and that's going to be the only place you're going to see it. You very rarely see them in the wild. And then, like 5 years ago when they replaced the roof, they got down here to this corner, and they decided to leave the old shingles on. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Nobody can see that. Let's go to the beer store, Philip. Oh, Doug, you're the fastest roofer in the shop. And I'm getting a raise next week. Philip and Doug did this. Yes, they did. I know their work. I see them. But yeah, see all the pookie up there, and see how it's drying and sealing, and see how they had a leak up underneath there, and they're patching on that. If it were I would remove this and fix the roof. If it were I, it's not me. And then get, fiber optic, or put the disc in the tree or on a wall, but get it off your roof. This is the humps I was talking about. There are rain gutters. Look at those runners. Ooh, that's kind of artistic, isn't it? So when someone drives up to your house and they look up and they see, it's going to work, it's going to perform for you. But really, these runners like that, come up here, you can see them on this roof too. We're just not at the right angle. So what do we learn? We learned that we got some impact damage, we got some wind damage and scuffing. We've got some repairs. We've learned that our vent pipe is too close to the ridge. We learned that our fireplace chimney does not have a crown on it. It only has a cap. I mean, used to be a crown in there. We learned that we got asbestos piping going to our water heater. We learned that we had some more repairs over here. No leaks since. We learned that we got some buckling over there. We learned that our satellite dish is not improperly installed straight to the roof. We learned that our attic ventilation is questionable. And we also learned, and we got a little bit of damage right there. And we also learned that we got an old roof on the northeast corner of the living room, right there. I think it's the living room, I'm not sure. Let's see the